Hey guys, my name is Andre. I'm the CEO and founder of Asetek. Today I'm going to demonstrate and talk about our newest product, which is our Forte pedals. So the pedals here are called Forte, and those of you who have seen our Invicta review may look at this and say, well, this is the Invicta pedals. It's actually not. This is our new, I would say not new brand, but new series, in the sense that Forte will not only be pedals, just like Invicta will not only be pedals. We will have a range, our highest range, the best we can do here at Asetek will be called Invicta. The next tier down, still super quality, but a little bit more affordable, we'll call Forte. So not only the Forte pedals, we will have Forte steering wheels, we will have Forte wheelbases, and so forth. And Forte, for those of you who may know, it means force or strength. And that's what I believe this is. This is a set of unbeatable for the price set of pedals. You have the full aluminum construction. There's no plastic around here. You have ball bearings. You have no play in the system. This is really affordable, high quality. This specific set of pedals I have here is a prototype. That means that some certain parts here are 3D printed or machined around the brake cylinder. Everything else is mass production. But as we speak, this is being tooled and produced right now. What we have here to my left is our Invicta pedals, and what we have here to my right is our Forte pedals. Most of you, just by looking at them, will see there's not a big difference. And you are absolutely right. And that's the great stuff, in the sense that although this is a mid-range set of pedals, you will get more or less the same. You will get the aluminum base, the all aluminum construction, the easy adjustment. You will get LED lighting. The biggest difference is really the brake cylinder. I think it's obvious that here we don't have a clutch and here we do have a clutch, but the Invicta clutch can actually be purchased and mounted on the Forte pedals also. So don't get confused by the clutch, that's an add-on. As you can see, the two brake cylinders look a little bit different. There is a video online where I explain how this works, how our hydraulic cylinder works, the Thorpe cylinder, in detail. So I'm not going to repeat this here, but I do encourage you to go and check that out. So if we put these aside for a second. So on the Invicta system, on the Invicta pedals, we have our hydraulic twin-stage system. I would argue that is the best you can get. It's the best you can buy for money. And the reason it's the best is because I would almost dare to say it's not a simulation. It is what you get in a real car. There is no really mechanical system on the planet that can replicate that. The Invicta, of course, also comes at a price. A hydraulic system is expensive. So what we have tried to do here is to achieve the next best, so a mechanical system, realizing that yes, hydraulic is the best, but it's also the most expensive. Not everyone can afford a hydraulic system. So we've tried to look a little bit, let's say, further downstream and say, how can we come with some innovation? How can we give something that comes as close to an hydraulic system as possible? So what we have here is a mechanical cylinder. We call it a mechanical load cell powered cylinder. It sounds very advanced, but it's actually an aluminum, all aluminum cylinder, just like on the Invicta. But the difference is, of course, there's no fluid in it. So when you push this, you compress this elastomer. They can only be exercised for a certain amount. They can be compressed. This one, a specific one, I think it's roughly 10 millimeters. If you compress it more like that, it will start to balloon, it will start to crack, it will start to lose its hardness. And that's what we have seen on many competitor products out there, that there's no really no mechanical stop or nothing limiting the travel, meaning that you can over-exercise these. And of course, they will always crack when you're in the middle of an important race. So what we have here is also an all aluminum cylinder that will make sure that you don't over-exercise the elastomer. But what it will also do is it will make sure that you only have a certain amount of travel, and when this bottom out, you have the two-stage system that I'll show you in a second. As opposed to the Invicta system, where we have a hydraulic pressure that's being measured by a pressure sensor. Here we have a load cell in the end that's actually measuring a physical movement. That's like your scales at home. When you step up on it in the morning, it will compress, and that will translate that into, okay, how much do I weigh today? This is the same, but when we have the mechanical stop here, then of course there is no more physical movement, and as such, the load cell will no longer be able to measure what's going on. And that's the difference in this case between the hydraulic version, where when this is bottoming out, you will still be able to feel the pressure increase. So what we have done is, number one, we have the hard stop here, but as you can see, there's also a small rubber ring here that's actually embedded a little bit in the piston. So when you have the hard stop, you can actually move it a little bit more, and that little bit more translates into a few percent. But that means that when you're in your simulator and you press really hard, when you trail brake, you know, where your toes are just bending backwards in your shoes, this system will actually be able to detect this. So on the Forte pedals, we have listened to you guys a little bit, that not all of you are hardcore racers. When I say hardcore racers, I mean real racers. You may be much more hardcore sim racers than I am, but nevertheless, some of you are racing in socks. So these pedal plates are actually super smooth. They're very easy to use without killing your toes or your feet. They may look as they are limited in adjustability, but they're actually not, because if you look here, we have 3 sets of holes, so you can actually move the pedal plates. As you can tell from these holes, you can also move them up and down. Something we have carried over from the Invicta is that this is really easy to adjust. So you can see here, I have this initial feeling that kind of simulates the gap between the brake pads and the brake disc. If you don't like that, you loosen this one, tighten this a little bit, then it's gone. If you want it bigger, you can get that. So it's very easy to adjust. It's also very easy if you want to change the elastomer. Take this one out, put the spring in, put in a new elastomer. You put this in, like that. Now you have a new elastomer in. So it's really easy to adjust. You can adjust by the finger screws here. There's essentially no tools needed. You can adjust it like you want. So it's really simple to adjust, just like the Invicta pedals. So in terms of pedal hardness, we are going to supply 3 different elastomers. Don't worry too much about the colors at this point in time. This is a prototype, but as I showed before, changing it is really simple. It takes only a few seconds. You can do it while you're in your rig, and you don't need any tools to change it. So in terms of hardness, you can get this really rock hard race car feeling. As we want here at Asetek Sim Sports, that's how we do it. But we also realize that not everybody is the same, so we will also have a medium and a softer compound, so that you can get a longer and also a little less hard pedal. So I would say that this comes close to the Invicta in feel. I would say it's almost unbreakable. It's a very robust system. It's very simple to use. I think the most important in this case is you really get the same as you do in the Invicta. Everything is the same. It's only the cylinder here you get a mechanical system. To me, we've been pushing really hard to get the price down, and we actually been able to offer this for $499. It's not entirely half the price of Invicta, but it comes close. And to me, this is an extremely good price to performance ratio that will be hard to beat. And this is what I meant when I said that we are going to make sim racing more affordable. We're going to make it more mainstream. Of course, you can get pedals that's even lower priced than these. But keep in mind, this is actually made for the same loads as the Invicta. The pedal arm here will withstand 700 kilos of force. It's designed for up to 200 kilos of force when you brake. So this will actually be able to withstand the same pressure and the same beating as the Invicta pedal. Or in other words, we are not compromising quality to get to a lower cost. It's all in the design. So Thanks for watching this video about our newest product in the SimSport market. We have been through the functionality of the pedals, we've been through the construction, we've been through the features. I have not gone into as much detail, but what I would say is, in short, these pedals are the best bang for the buck, period.